This video is going to be used for mostly relaxation station, but we can use it for mad tripping. I'm going to find a spot to set up the camera. Get a couple views of the river here. Just let it run. Let's do this one first. Okay, right here are the items I'm going to have with me in my pockets: my wallet, my keys, a couple knives in case I need to cut some rope, my phone, some glasses, and importantly, the headlamp and the little flashlight there in case you arrive in the dark. You want to make sure you have some light ready to go. So what I like to do is I like to pack the things that I'm going to get out of the car first. When I arrive at the campsite, I pack those last so that when I get there, I can take them out of the car first. Something like a lantern. I have arrived a lot at our campsite in the dark, so you want to make sure that you have your lantern ready to go with some fresh mantles in there and some new fuel ready to go, so when you arrive you can just plug it in, hang it in a tree, and turn on the light, and that'll help you get your camp started. Now, a couple of the other things I like to pack last so I can get them out first will be my chairs. So I usually bring 2 chairs, and this year, this is something new, I'm used to packing for a little bit extra for 10 or more people in case they need something. That's why I have this camp box that I'll be bringing up here later that I'm going to downsize. I usually bring extra chairs, but this year I'm just packing for myself to go as one person. I'm not the camp coordinator. There's not a big group of people going, 10 to 20 usually. I'm just going to enjoy this time to, get away and rejuvenate the brain, slow down a little bit. So one of the things I want to pull out first is going to be my chair. I'll have 2 chairs, one to keep inside the tent, one to keep outside by the campfire. Another item I like to pull out first and get started is the tent. That way you have somewhere to go when you want to sit down and relax in case there's a light breeze or it's windy and dusty and stuff like that. Especially where we're going down by Riverside Campground, it can get windy and dusty down there. So I like to have this set up, which is one of the other reasons why I have a big tent like this, is so that when people, if it starts to rain or it gets too dusty, you can get a whole bunch of people in one tent to maybe play some cards or just hang out and chit chat. So I do like Coleman items. They are kind of built to last. Good strong items. My lantern, my stove that you'll be seeing here in a little bit, both Coleman. But I have bought a couple other items that are Ozark. And if you take care of your product, which I don't do too well, but if you do, these do kind of last, quite a while. I've had this tent a while, and it's definitely gotten its usage. So it's not too bad of a brand there with the Ozark Trail. So being that flashlights is one of the first items I like to have out in case you arrive in the dark and you need to start fumbling through your stuff. So this is my bag of flashlights. Again, I would take something like this, maybe the whole thing. There's always somebody that shows up that doesn't have a flashlight. When you're there for 3 or 4 days, you want to have extra lights that you can keep around, one inside the tent, one inside the car, stuff like this. But we also use these for Halloween and stuff like that. So I do have a lot of flashlights I can keep around, but I only need to take what I need this year. So for the 2 starters that I'll have in the car, I'll have the headlamp and then that flashlight. I like to bring in extra headlamp. See, I'm already fumbling through stuff here, but it is kind of organized. I know where they are, which pockets. So I believe I just changed the batteries on all these. That's a good bright headlamp. So I'll be packing that one. I will take another standalone flashlight. That one, not so bright. This one's a good one. It's a bike flashlight, but I like to use it. So those would be my 3 kind of handhelds, but I can't emphasize these enough. Getting these headlamps, they free up both your hands for getting stuff, so awfully nice, awfully nice. Switch this back around here. That's a princess flashlight that the kids use. Here's some just red flashlights and lights that I use for Halloween. Let's just make sure, yeah, these are all Halloween type lights, which I'm sure if you've seen the Halloween video, you've seen those. Oops, dropped one down here. I like this flashlight. It's a little hanging flashlight. It's got a little hook somewhere. There it is, in the back. It's got a hook on it so I can hang it up inside the tent along with this lantern flashlight I'll show you. Now, in these back side pockets are my pumps. So I have 2 pumps that go to for the air mattresses that hook up to your car, and I have 2 battery operated pumps over here that take C batteries. And then inside the main cabin here, we have my lantern flashlights and kind of the bigger flashlights. So I do like to take this one and I sit it on my table inside the tent. And that gives me light at night when I'm just doing stuff around the table. I don't really need too many else. I've put the batteries in this one, so it's nice and fresh. That is bright, ready to go. That'll be used on my table also as my extra. And then just another lantern, flashlight, a couple other things that we really don't need that whole big bag this year just to take these couple of flashlights. So we definitely did narrow that down on items that we take. So we'll put this bag back and we'll start anew. I won't be downsizing these 2 bags with my hygiene kit and my first aid kit. Inside the hygiene kit, I have your toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, soap, things that you need. It does get dusty out there. I don't want to open up, it all gets complicated, but tweezers, nail clippers, underarm deodorant, a little bit of cologne, mouthwash, rubbing alcohol and peroxide, so it kind of goes with the first aid kit. Just the basic things you're going to need. You'll know what your hygiene needs are, so you can pack your own hygiene supply kit. 5-gallon can of extra water, always good to pack, especially in the desert. April, still get a little warm up there in April, so make sure to pack at least a 5-gallon thing of extra water just for basic washing and cleaning and stuff like that, especially if you're going for more than 2 days. This is my second item, the Coleman Stove. I am very happy with this stove. It's a 2-burner stove, and I keep it in the box, but it's perfect for the type of camping that you do out there if you just want to cook up maybe some hot dogs or a quick hot ham and cheese. This is one of my older rubber kind of rollout mats it's another Coleman item. Nice. This would be when I would go up for a night or 2 and I'd be sleeping in the back of my 4Runner. I would just lay this underneath my sleeping bag, and it gives me a little bit of comfort because in the 4Runner, between the back seat there where you fold it down, there's a little bit of a roll bar that can kind of get annoying if you sleep on it the wrong way. So I'll show you that when we set up the car up there when we get up to Riverside Campground. Now, because I am slimming things down and going for where I'm camping, taking supplies for 1 person, I am going to take this just to show you the setup, and it's actually pretty comfortable if you're sitting at a, they supply picnic tables up there with the bench style, metal bench style, and when we play poker, you set this up. I'll show you how it sets up once we get up there in the next video or two, and it's really comfortable on your back, and you can lean back and stuff like that on those bench seats, and gives you a little bit of padding on your behind. They're really nice. I think this was like 30 bucks at the time. It's got some dust on it. Little pocket to hold your keys underneath your seat, but I'll show you this when we get up there and unload everything. This is my pride and joy right here. This is the poop bucket. It's a 5-gallon bucket. I took a pool noodle, cut around the rim, put some glue in there and glued it on the bucket. This is my urinal. I'll show you how I set all this up once we get up there. The shower's in there. Everything's been cleaned. It's a little dusty because it's been sitting out in the garage here. But there's the 5-gallon shower, the pee bucket, and then my cleaning supplies with some Lysol and stuff like that. But that is the bucket in case there is a bathroom up there at Riverside Campground. But just in case it's too bad, or one year it had too many flies in it, I keep this, which is another reason why I have that kind of a big tent. You can put this off in the corner in case you really need to go. You have a little bit of privacy and can take your time and enjoy it. It's some peace and solitude. So I do it this way. Doesn't mean you have to, but I take 2 coolers, this being the smaller one. The bigger one you'll see once we get up there. My bigger one is one of those 6-day coolers that holds ice, but a little pro tip, when you pack it full of ice at your house, especially here in Phoenix, and you're leaving and it's hot, a lot of your ice is going to melt trying to cool it down. So try to find a way to cool the cooler down before you put the ice in it. What I like to do is take frozen bottles of water that I'm going to drink anyways, put them on the bottom before I fill it with ice, try to get it to cool down, then put the ice in. The ice will last that 5 or 6 days. But I have a little side cooler. This goes in the front seat next to me, or it'd be in the back seat if I'm carrying people with me, but it's one of the first things that come out. So it'll have what I need to drink in, say, the next 6 hours from once we arrive at the campsite. Some bottled water, some Gatorade, whatever else you need in there. A little Dr. Pepper would be nice, some ice, maybe a little snack. And then, of course, my big cooler I try to keep with just the stuff that I don't need to open the first night so I can keep that ice cold. Now, I'm a list person. I definitely always make lists, and I'll go over it, a couple of times to make sure that I have everything packed. I have forgotten stuff before. Usually doesn't make my trip too miserable, but I don't like to really forget anything. I always used to bring extra stuff in case you wanted something that, how does the saying go? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, but here's some air mattresses. Those get packed. They get tested before we go to make sure they'll hold the air. You don't want to get up there and not have your air mattresses. These are 2 that go on top of each other. I might buy a new one this year in case, I'm sure these probably don't work. They've been sitting here a couple of years since we've been camping. So here's my electronics bag. I have to go through still. Make sure I pack everything in there right. We'll have some selfie sticks, some fuel rods, some speakers, Bluetooth speakers, tripods, stuff like that. I haven't decided what all I'm taking. I'm taking Incredibles 2. I usually watch a movie on the first night on the laptop. Laptop will also go in that bag. But it only has enough battery for probably 1 movie. So watch the movie the first night just to relax. And the phone, the gimbal, the new gimbal that I bought, the DJI, which I'm holding right now with the new iPhone. So we'll see how all that gets put away and tucked away in there. But that'll be on your list. Whatever electronics you need to make your list. Again, I'll show you a complete list of everything that I'm bringing later that you can pause on it. And if it's the type of camping that you like to do, you'll know what to put on your list. So now we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We'll be getting to the last 2 items are my camp box and my kitchen box. Those are the 2 boxes that I always had fully stocked, ready to go. So I didn't have to worry about the little items like clothes hangers, little first aid kits, stuff like that. I'll show you the box, and we're going to be slimming it down because I'm not packing for the group. So here's this little backpack that I keep my basic stuff in, the wallet, the keys, and stuff like that. After I have them in my pocket when I'm sitting next to me in my bed in the tent. Always bring an extra, pair of binoculars. There's some good views up there. We'll be talking about that when we get up there. This is a cup. It gets dusty up there. You are camping in the sand along the riverbanks. Actually, not right along the riverbanks. You can do that. We'll get to that when we're up there also. But, get something with a lid. I have another cup that I use now, but I take this one also. Something that has a lid to keep the dust out that you can close, a little porthole there. Now, this is the fuel, and I'll tell you what I do with these on these Coleman fuels. I take a full can, which would be this one here. That one I just showed you is going to be used for the stove. what I do is I take a full can, hook it up to the lantern, and then light it up right as it gets dark, right after sunset. Light it up, let it burn all night, and it goes to about 3 or 4 in the morning. And I do that in case you go to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock or something. Maybe if you get up at 2 to go use the bathroom, then you still have a little bit of light around your camp, a little bit of light to see if you hear any animals coming in and stuff like that, just to provide a little extra safety. So we used to go camping with a couple of people. They do the same thing. So you'd have 4 or 5 lanterns going where you plug it in, let it run all night and do its thing. Another good reason is when you turn them off at night, you only end up having 2 hours of fuel left. So you turn it on the next night, and then, you know, halfway through the night, you're getting up and changing it after you've been drinking and stuff like that. And that's never good. So, so we just keep one of those running. That was a little trick that Midnight Bob taught me. I like that trick, so I continue to do that along the way. This is my little hanger for when I'm taking a shower. Hang that on the tree. We'll show you that when we do the whole setup there. Roll of paper towels. This is a bag of matches that goes in my camp box, and some tarps. Now I use 2 tarps. Normally I would have 3, 1 to put under the tent, but since that tent's getting old and I'm going to be on some soft sand, I don't need it. But I put 1 out in front of the tent, and I put 1 underneath the shower. We'll be showing you that setup when we get up there. This bowl right here, I put on a table next to the shower and the 5-gallon bucket, and we fill it up and use it as a hand washing center with little bar of soap and everything, towel, dry your hands off. Show you that setup when I get up there. I don't know if I'm going to be taking this. I'm probably going to leave this behind if I can find somewhere to put all this stuff as I'm packing, get organized. But this is a little baby wash bin, but what I use it for is dishes. You know, you have a group of 10 to 20 people, you need a little bit of a sink up there, so you fill it with a little bit of water, and then you have your little side edge here for your soap and stuff. But worked out great. I'll show you inside the kitchen box where I had the plate rack to dry the plates and the cups and stuff like this, but this was a nice wash bin for your dishes. So I was a camp coordinator, you know, and using this for a lot of people is good when you're doing a lot of dishes, and I love doing that. But now, again, I'm just packing for the one person as we go up there this time, so I don't need all this stuff right here with me. So we're going to slim it down. This is my kitchen box. Keep everything in a box. I like this dish rack that I have here. Collapsible, goes down flat, nice. Inside the box, you're going to have things that you need in the kitchen, like oven mitts, dish towels, pots and pans and stuff like this. A little coffee maker, percolating kind, ashtray, people that smoke, utensils, stuff like that, towel rack. This is always good to have the towels on. Helps you keep your towels from blowing away. Spatulas, all types of stuff, things you need for cooking. I don't need to bring this with me this year. I'll be doing everything with foil. So I won't need to camp this box. That is one less box to take with a lot of the weight, which will also allow me to just take the camp box up there and organize it when I get up there, which is always fun to do. So here are the items that I had in the box. I have my drying dish tray right here that we use to dry dishes. It's collapsible, the wooden one I showed you that folds flat. We have the oven mitts, some dish towels, dishcloths, the toothbrush right there for scrubbing dishes, and the sponge scrubber. Below that is some beer koozies, a tower for hand towels, paper towels. Got a dish there to hold the knives, spoon, and forks. Shot glass. I love the shot glass. I have to show it to you. Let's see if we can get down here on it. It's a bear, and then the bear, you turn it around, and we got bear butt. I love that shot glass, so that goes with me every time we go. We have your plates and your bowls right here. It was just for me, but this is extra stuff for the group. So I had for 1 or 2 people here, but a bowl and some plates, tongs, a spatula, a skewer, some knives. These are perfect. That red bubbly thing there is the egg crate. It holds the eggs in. It's plastic and solid, so your eggs won't get crushed. Little serving trays for when they did shots of tequila for the lime and the salt, an ashtray for the smokers, coffee pot for the coffee drinkers. I love these cups here. You got large, medium, and small. Basic frying pan, basic strainer, basic pot. These little pots are the ones that I took to the Grand Canyon with me when we cooked on our little gas stove. You have salt and pepper shakers, a lighter, matches. Ziplocs always come in handy while you're out camping. Sugar, that was for margarita, salt, and stuff like that. And then I love to have the fake spider inside the box When you tell somebody to go get something, that spider's in there, sometimes they get freaked out about it. This long pole here is for the fire, like a fire stick to move the logs around. And then this light down here, the clamp with the light, that's for putting on top of my stove for when I'm cooking at night and I have a little light that shines over it, lets me look at the food. So that's all the stuff that was in that box. There should be a can opener in there, but I think that's in my main camp box that we take. Once we get that one out, we'll take a look around. Oh no, can opener's in here, in with the utensils. So your knives, your forks, your spoons, and can openers, everything that you'll need. Since I am going by myself, the only thing I really need to take with me is maybe a bowl, a plate, one spoon, one knife, one fork, one frying pan. I don't need the pot. You can cook corn and the baked beans in the can. The lighter and the matches, of course, and I don't drink coffee or smoke, so I don't need those two items. I don't really need the towel holder since I'm by myself. It is a nice item to have when you're out camping, but I'll keep the towels in the car. But again, that is a nice item to have when you're out camping, to keep your towels kind of in place. And that'll do. We'll make a list and show you everything that's on the list. And dish soap, don't forget the dish soap. And now we're going to listen to the sounds of the Verde River as I show you my packing list. Pause on any list to see if there's anything that you might want to bring on your trip. On the next video, I'll make a top 10 list of the things that you should probably bring with you. Well, Mad Troopers, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, much appreciated. Our next video is going to be a top 10 list on items you should bring with you to Riverside Campground. And then on the following episodes, join me as I explore Riverside Campground at Bartlett Lake along the Verde River. Again, thanks for watching. Now get up and go and start tripping.